Hi, I'm Glenn Casimir. I provide Commvault technical pre-sales and have been doing so for about 10 years. I'd like to talk to you about why storage optimization within your data protection solution is a great idea. It's very common for a piece of information to be duplicated across your infrastructure. An end user might create a file, store it on his laptop, store it onto a file server, email it to a colleague. The colleague then stores it on his laptop, saves it on a different file server. If we're not careful, every one of those files, which is a copy of exactly the same information, will be treated as though it was something different. With a solution like Commvault, we will realize that is the same file, so rather than storing it multiple times for multiple reasons, we will store it once and then just keep pointers for the other copies. This obviously gives you massive savings in terms of back-end storage, but also it's much more efficient moving data around the network if we just don't bother moving it. You can then add in archiving, so we can identify stale data like old files, old emails, and rather than still storing it on expensive primary storage, we can remove it. And we can extend that to archiving data out of email like Office 365 and only keep current data in Office 365, so our mailboxes are smaller, leaner, more efficient. And that's all just standard features within Commvault as part of what it does, all accessed through a single console, single view. Okay, so we were looking at how we could optimize resources for backup, availability and archive. And there's potentially lots of tools here again inside the Commvault Command Center. So backup of servers is straightforward. Commvault and lots of other programs have been doing this for a long time. So in terms of making it work smarter, there are a couple of things we can do. The first thing is we can actually back up this data and put it into a storage policy where the data is being deduplicated. So in this case, there's only a small system, it's only got a relatively small amount of information, but we're still getting over 70% deduplication savings. And that's because we're only storing unique blocks once, and as long as the data is captured and stored, if we see the same data again, we just recognize it and store another pointer to the data, not more copies of the data. On the solution side, we can also do archiving. So the principle of archiving is we can actually take a backup copy of data when the new data is new and fresh, but then moving forward, we can actually archive data that is stale, so perhaps over a year old or something like that, and remove that from the primary storage and only leave it at the back end. It means that we can potentially reduce the primary storage utilization and make the primary storage last longer, which obviously is good. We could do the same thing for data, for example, in Office 365 in Exchange, and reduce the content of the data held in our Exchange or Office 365 environment by archiving out old emails, just leaving the current information.